All right. So with the Women's FA Cup, we say Ehupa, and we are having some interesting results. We started from the round of 64. All right. So with the Women's FA Cup, we say for the draw for round and we are having some interesting results. We are going from the round of 64. All right. So with the Women's FA Cup, we say the Women's FA Cup. My name is Shaban Mohammed. I'll be doing interesting results with the chairperson of 64. So with the Women's FA Cup, we say the Women's FA Cup. My name is Shaban Mohammed. I'll be doing interesting results with the chairperson of 64. So with the Women's FA Cup, we say the Women's FA Cup. My name is Shaban Mohammed. I'll be doing interesting results with the chairperson of 64. So the Women's FA Cup, say the Women's FA Cup. My name is Shaban Mohammed. I'll be doing interesting results with the chairperson of 64. So the Women's FA Cup, say the Women's FA Cup. My name is Shaban Mohammed. I'll be doing interesting results with the chairperson of 64. So the Women's FA Cup, say the Women's FA Cup. My name is Shaban Mohammed. I'll be doing interesting results with the chairperson of 64. So the Women's FA Cup, say the Women's FA Cup. Were you excited? Were you happy? What was the result of the round of 64?
I don't think we anticipated some of the scores that we have the outcome of some of the classifications, but like we always say, Women's FA Cup is take things for granted, you are not careful. You find yourself laughing at the wrong side of your mouth. Happening to some of them, but that is the beauty and excitement that always characterizes the all FA Cup. You get some shocking results, some stunning results, and some of them are normal. All FA Cup you get some shocking results.
Well, I'll come to you. Let me speak to member of the committee, Mami Efua. Mami, happy to see you here. I'll come to you. I'm sure you followed the round of the committee and Mami Efua. Did you see the shocking results? Happy to see you here. I'll come to you.
I'm happy to be here as well. Yes, did I see the shocking results? The shocking result was what happened at Kobe when OSFC was locked down.
I know you talk about it.
Yes, I wasn't happy at all, but like Rosalie earlier said, you understand. So yes, a lot happens, but we're happy to be here. Thanks.
Well, some of the results we had in the round of 64, Northern City Ladies beating Kumasi Sports Academy 3-0. Dreams Ladies beating Nana Ifya Kubian Pem 2-0. Capfix also defeating Oak Ladies, and Mami first spoke about it 1-0. Blacko Soccer won Azakes Ladies 3, and Azakes have won the competition before. Nasara Ladies also beating Dagban Ladies 6. But Mami, for you, I'm done with you. Let me go to the chairperson. These are some of the results I want us to go through, and then you can tell me how the teams performed.
So we'll just give you an outline of or recap some of the results or all of the results so that at least you have a fair idea the teams that have gone through to the next round and where they will be placed at. So we started off with Savannah FC and Bagabaga Ladies. That we said was a crunch match.
Yeah.
It ended 1-1 as expected, but FC Savannah won 4-2 on penalties. And then Arm of God Ladies rooted Soccer Angels Ladies 8-1. 8-1 it ended. Akosombo Ladies, don't be fooled by the name. Akosombo Ladies is from the Central Region. They won 2-1 against GRA Ladies. And then FC Young Queens and Amfani Ladies, another Northern Zone clash. It ended 3-3. FC Young Queens won 4-3 on penalty. No, Amfani won 4-5 on penalties. And then Noble Ladies and Northern Ladies, which Mo has already said, Northern Ladies won 8-0. That should tell you the David and Goliath stance. I always say that, look, when it sometimes happens in very rare cases that you see David always overcoming Goliath, apart from the biblical story, but this time around it has happened. And then Wa All Stars Ladies won 2-0 against Wa Royal Ladies. That was a local derby. And then ACM Soquets won 5-0 against Infantima Royal. That was also a local derby. And Sisamba Ladies They shocked Police Ladies, the reigning Women's Premier League champions. It ended 1-1, and Sisamba won 4-2 on penalties. That was quite a surprising outcome because we thought Police had already said their target for this year was a double. And so for them to have lost the Women's FA Cup means that now they're only going to fight to defend the league title. Then Soccer Intellectuals were lucky. They won 1-0 against Kesua Ladies. Army Ladies, they went, I don't know, they were all over the place. They scored 10-0 against Blessed Ladies. Epiphany Warriors, now they have an FA Cup and a League Cup winning coach, Nana Adakwa. He led them to win 7-0 against Immigration Ladies. Immigration Ladies, whoa, I thought they said they want to come back to the Premiership this season.
You have a lot of work to do.
Well. And then Jonina Ladies, this was what we were all looking out for, the final of last year's FA Cup. And it was Jonina versus Faith Ladies. Faith beat Jonina to win that cup last season. So if you look at it, Faith will have the trophy with them. But this time around, Jonina made sure that they didn't end on the losing side. They won 2-0. Valued Girls beat Halifax Queens 1-0. Nesting FC lost 1-2 to Mepe Peace Ladies. And Anglon Ladies, they've been there since the inception of the league, the FA Cup. And they won. They drew 2-2, but they won 4-1 on penalties. And then former champions Ampem Dakwa. This was also a very shocking result. Ampem Dakwa beat Prisons Ladies 4-0.
Yes, shocking.
The last time they met, it went into penalties, and we were thinking that, given their rivalry and history, these are the two teams, the two strongest teams in the Bono area, and you thought they would give them a run for their money, but Ampem Dakwa just showed no mercy, and they went away with a 4-0 victory. Kunkwa Ladies and Bulgar Sharp Arrows. Kunkwa failed to show up, and so Bulgar Sharp Arrows have a walkover. Northern City Ladies, they beat Kumasi Sports Academy 3-0. That was also another shocking result. But if you know the former Pelpia and you know Kusa, that should also come as no surprise. Yes. Too. And then Dreams, of course, beat Nanefia Kobiampem 2-0. That was a local derby. Capfix Ladies won 1-0 against Oak Ladies. And that is what Mamefua was worried about. But I'm sure Oak Ladies will bounce back in the league. Black Coast Soccer lost 1-0 to Hazakes Ladies. Nasara Ladies won 6-0 against Dagbak Ladies. Supreme Ladies and Ashtown Ladies drew, and then I think Ashtown won on penalties. And then Tutling Unity Ladies lost 1-4 to Tamale Super Ladies. And then the final of the draw or the matchups, Root Sisters beat Obrima 4-1. Samatex were 3-0 leaders against Harsport. Sunshining Ladies were 6-2 winners against Bulgar All-Stars Ladies. United Ladies lost 0-5 to Fabulous Ladies. Doma Kandi were beaten 6-1 by Fosu Royal Ladies. And Bis Paradise also lost 0-4 to Lady Strikers. And then KSC Ladies drew 1-1 with Jaba Ladies, but Jaba won 7-6 on penalties. And finally, Wisdom Ladies won 2-1 against Immaculate Ladies. So these are the results, and we are hoping to see what comes out of the draw for the round of 32.
Well, so I take my seat for the next draw, round of 32, and these are the qualified teams. We have FC Savannah, Arm of God Ladies. We have Akosombo Ladies, Amfani Ladies, Northern Ladies, Wa All Stars Ladies, Isiam Socrates Ladies, Sisamba Ladies, Soccer Intellectuals, Army Ladies, Epiphany Warriors, Jonina Ladies, Valued Girls. We have Mepe Peace Ladies, Anglo Ladies, Ampem Dakwa Ladies, Bulgar Sharp Arrows, Northern City Ladies, Dreams Ladies, Capfix Ladies, Hazakes Ladies, Nasara Ladies, Supreme Ladies, Temale Super Ladies, Root Sisters, Samatex Ladies, Sunshiny Ladies, Fabulous Ladies, Fosu Royal Ladies, Lady Strikers, Jagba Ladies, and Wisdom Ladies. These are the qualified teams in the round of 32. As I said earlier, we have the chairperson of the Women's FA Cup, Madam Rosinamo. She will be here with me for the draw, and then member of the committee, Mami Fua, would also be helping us with the draw. But then we are starting with the Northern Zone, where so this is the bowl. It's empty bowl, and so Mami Fua will do justice.
This time around, we are not doing zones.
Okay.
It's just the northern zone
and the southern zone.
So at this point, especially for that, everybody can play, anybody at all. I mean, we started off with the regional zone where we seeded it by the regions, but now we've gotten to the point where anybody can go and play anywhere, and so we are putting them together. All
right, so that's the information. It means that in the northern zone, you can be in Bronga and play a team in the northern region, and that's how it is going to be. And so it's expected to be a tough one. But then Mami Fua would take us through and empty container, and so nothing is actually in it. She starts for us, and she's not too happy because her team has been kicked out. Yes. Okay, so that's it. She's taking us through the process. That is the process. And first team, FC Savannah. They were the first team I mentioned their name, and the first team to be called. First team to be called. FC Savannah, and we want to know their opponents. Fabulous Ladies. FC Savannah Ladies versus Fabulous Ladies, and that is the first draw done by Mami Ifua. We go to the second draw. Ampem Dakwa Ladies, they've won the competition, and so since 2016 we've seen Ampem Dakwa also show supremacy in the Women's FA Cup. Ampem Dakwa, and they will be playing against Sunshining Ladies. Ampem Dakwa versus Sunshining Ladies. The third draw, and we have Amfani Ladies. Amfani Ladies. Amfani Ladies versus Tamale Super Ladies. And Amfani versus Tamale Super Ladies local derby, a tough fixture. We have Jagba Ladies, and we are going to know their opponent pretty shortly, and that is Fosu Royal Ladies. Jagba versus Fosu Royal Ladies. And the next one, Wa All Stars Ladies. And we'll get to know their opponent soon. Bolga Sharp Arrows. This is also going to be a tough one. Wa All Stars versus Bolga Sharp Arrows. And the next draw, Nasara Ladies. And when we are done with the northern, we'll come to the southern zone. And Dreams Ladies Football Club. Nasara Ladies versus Dreams Ladies Football Club. One in the Division 1, one in the Premier. We have Arm of God Ladies. And you understand me. Arm of God Ladies. And the opponent is going to be Northern City Ladies. Arm of God versus Northern City Ladies. And the final one is Supreme Ladies. And the last team would be playing against Supreme Ladies. And that is Northern Ladies. Supreme Ladies versus Northern Ladies. Thank you, Mami Efua. And she's done justice to the Northern Zone. That's the Northern Zone of the Women's FA Cup draw. We are heading straight to the Southern Zone where our madam, our boss, the chairperson of the Women's FA Cup, Madam Rosalind Krama Amo. I love mentioning the middle name because I've been following her for more than 20 years. And so she's taking over empty container. She's poured all of the things. Please, can you check for me if it's empty here? Thank you. Check for me again if it is empty. The last time I left one inside, that was for the men's competition. So, yes, and this reminds me on how our mothers, work on our food at home. So first, we have cap fix ladies, cap fix ladies, cap fix ladies, cap fix ladies, and we are going to know the opponent of cap fix ladies, and that is Jonina. They were in the final last year. They lost to Faith Ladies, but this time they are making progress. Now they have another header to clear, and they are playing against Capfix, a Premier and a Division 1 side. We have Root Sisters, one of the difficult side. They were in the playoff for qualification to the Women's League, and it didn't work for them. And so they are playing against Ladies Strikers. Ladies Strikers. Ladies Strikers. And so Ladies Strikers, and that is the fixtures for. And the next one, we have Army Ladies, one of the difficult sides to beat in the Malta Guineas Women's Premier League this season. Army Ladies. And we have Valued Girls. Valued Girls. So Army Ladies will be playing against Valued Girls. Army Ladies versus Valued Girls. And the next fixture, FC Summertex Ladies. FC Summertex Ladies at the Essentially Sports Arena. And FC Summertex Ladies, they will be playing against Wisdom Ladies. Wisdom Ladies. Wisdom Ladies. And I'm sure we all understand Wisdom. So Wisdom would have to do something. And Soccer Intellectuals. Soccer Intellectuals Ladies, they've not been too good this season in the Women's League. They have to improve on their performance. Versus Sisamba Ladies. Sisamba Ladies, another Premier Division 1 affair. And we have Akosombo Girls. Akosombo Girls. Their name and their region looks different. Central region and from Akosombo. They name Akosombo Girls. And Angolan Ladies. Akosombo Girls versus Angolan Ladies. Akosombo Girls versus Angolan Ladies. Angolan Ladies. Mepe Peace Ladies. Mepe Peace Ladies. Mepe Peace Ladies. And Mepe Peace Ladies. I'm not sure they are in the Volta region. Yes. And versus FC Epiphany Warriors. FC Epiphany Warriors. And that is where June Anadakwa is currently coaching. Yes. And so Epiphany Warriors, one of the good sides currently. And so Hazakes Ladies. Hazakes, and the last team would be their opponents. Hazakes Ladies and Isiam Socrates. Isiam Socrates. This is the end of the draw, and I know you have taken note of your opponents. And round of 32, it is going to be a difficult encounter. And I'll take you through the fixtures. But before I do that, let me take the views of the chairperson. She picked for the Southern Zone. But before we go to her to speak on the draw, let's see the Northern Zone. It was done first. FC Savannah Fabulous Ladies, Ampem Dakwa Ladies versus Sunshining Ladies, Amfani Ladies versus Tamale Super Ladies, Jagba Ladies versus Fosu Royal Ladies, Wa All Stars Ladies versus Bolga All Stars, Bolga Sharp Arrows. I nearly said All Stars, but Sharp Arrows. And Nasara Ladies, Dreams Ladies, Arm of God versus Northern Ladies, and then Supreme Ladies versus. So we have the Northern City Ladies, and the last one is Supreme Ladies versus Northern ladies. In the Southern Zone, Capfix versus Jonina ladies, Root Sisters versus Lady Strikers, Army ladies, Valued Girls, FC Savannah, Wisdom, Soccer Intellectuals will be facing off Sisamba ladies, Akosombo Girls, Angola ladies, and Mepepis Epiphany Warriors, Hazakers versus Isiam Socrates. This is the draw for the Southern and the Northern Zone. And you heard from the chairperson, she said that this time it is not regional, it is based on zonal. So you can be in the North and play a team in the Ashanti region. This is the draw for the round of 32 of the Women's FA Cup. Madam Chairperson, we are done.
We are done, but we are not completely done. This is another difficult matchups, and I mean, sometimes being in the seat, you would wish that certain draws come up, and then you protect certain interests, especially the regional leagues. But unfortunately, with the FA Cup, you can't give protection to anybody, and so here we are. Apart from, I think, I mean, surprisingly, for each of the zones, we have only one clash between two regional, Division 1 sides. Almost all the all the others are playing the big size. The regional sides are playing the Premier League size. And it's going to be a tough one. But if some of them have lost, you can just be sure that another stunning or shock is going to happen in this round.
Well, so that's the chairperson. Let me speak to Mami Ifua on her take. She did the Northern Zone, and I'm sure she saw some parents that will be very difficult.
Well, from the look of things, like my chairperson said, it's going to be tough, and then you can't underestimate anyone. So for me, I think we should hope for good matches. Yeah, so I wish all the teams the very best, and then we'll see them again.
When I'm sure next season, OKFC will be doing better.
Oh, next season we'll do better.
You will do better.
We'll do better.
Please take notes, Oak Ladies fans. Take notes. Next season you are going to do better.
Why are you putting her on the spot? Yeah. It's enough that her team lost, and you are putting her on the spot. But if you ask me, I think there will be some interesting matches to watch. For instance, Hazakers Ladies versus ACM Socrates. ACM are in Division 1 now. But when they were in the Premier League, they gave Hazakers a really tough time. And then also, Army Ladies, Valued Girls. Valued Girls have always been a bit stubborn, and so you see how they will come up against it. But Root Sisters, the game to watch should be Root Sisters versus Lady Strikers.
I see.
And then, we could have a shocker. I don't want to say, but I'm looking at it. The Soccer Intellectuals Sisamba ladies. If you've seen Sisamba play and you've seen how Soccer Intellectuals are struggling, that could also be something else. That is for the Southern Zone. In the Northern Zone, Nasara Dreams, if you ask me, Nasara Dreams. And then Supreme Ladies versus Northern Ladies. And then FC Savannah versus Fabulous Ladies. Fabulous are trying to come back, and it's been a tough time for them. But they won convincingly in the round of 64, and so I'm hoping that they would build upon that. But and then the local derby, the Upper East versus Upper West region, Wa All Stars versus Volga Chaparros. Every time they've clashed in the zonal championships, it's always a tough time. And so you can only imagine what will happen again this time around.
Well, so the weekend of 19th to 23rd December, Edi Dibronya, the Women's FA Cup Edi Dibronya. And so that weekend from 19th to 23rd December, we are going to be playing the fixtures for the Women's FA Cup run of 32. My name is Shaban Mohammed. I did this with the chairperson, Madam Kurama Rosalind Amo, and Mami Ifua committee member. But before
the name is Ifua Efia Echan Boating. You see, mention it like the Ashantis, Efia Echan Boating. Echan, Oye Chan.
Oye Chan.
And so come on, me free, and that's how the name comes fancy. Or no, so fancy.
Mami
Efia
So I shouldn't add Mami.
All
right. So I've taken. Okay. So thank you very much for joining us. But before we go, if there's any other information to.
Well, people have been asking whether some of the matches will be shown live on TV. For now, we don't have the arrangement. So please follow us on our socials, Facebook, and then especially on X. That is where. And then you can just follow the clubs as well, the individual teams as well. They are doing very well on their socials. Let's follow them up. And then we will only show live matches when we get to the quarterfinals, from the quarterfinals onwards. And that is where we'll show. So please, for now, follow your club or follow the FA Cup on the socials. And let's meet again when we can.
So we are meeting again for the Women's FA Cup. Thank you very much for joining us. And this is the round of 32. Chairperson was with us, member of the committee, Ifia Ichan Boateng. Thank you once again. And greetings to Madam Clara, Madam Barbara. They all participated, supported us behind the scenes. Solo and the entire team, we are grateful. Bye-bye.